What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rant, no hate. So, what I want to do, I want to do a quick video recap of three videos that I just put out. One is in referencing Errol Spence Jr. Another one is referencing Deontay Wilder. you know, saying that he's going to, show his greatness. And the other is about Billy Joe Saunders versus Canelo Alvarez. The press conference meeting that they had, video conference with Eddie Hearn. So let me just recap something about all these videos. Because you always make points, and it may be something that you didn't say or you did say, but people misquote you, misinterpret what you're saying, even though you're right to the point. So I have no problem with doing that. Listen, starting with the Deontay Wilder video. Let's do his first. Okay, first off, he spoke about he's going to show his greatness. And he's talking about his return to boxing. So what I'm saying is, for Deontay to do that, Deontay Wilder needs to come back. And like I said, in that particular video, he needs to pull a Errol Spence. He needs to come back and he needs to get in there. Like he said, Dylan White style is easy for him to beat, right? So getting there with Dylan White. Getting there with a Joseph Parker, getting there with an Andy Ruiz, getting there with a Joe Joyce or Usyk, somebody like that. Not a Charles Martin, not a Kalnaki, not a Hellenius. I'm, honestly would be more expecting of him that he would try to go after a guy like Trevor Bryant and get that WBA title off of him, and then have some more bargaining chips in his court. Now, that's not what I would look forward to, but looking at the way that Deontay Wilder's been moving his whole career, I would see that for him to do that, excuse me, just like Daniel Dubois, from what we understand, he's, fighting for a title, coming off of a loss. And for Deontay to come back against a guy like Trevor Bryant is no real threat. Trevor Bryant is in the same seat as, Berman Stavern. So I would think he would do something like that. Now, what he does is his choice. It's not about what I want him to do. I don't want you to do anything. Okay, it's what you choose to do. So speaking, on Wilder in those terms about what he said, this is what we're looking at. For him, a lot of times people have a different definition of a word than you do. They have a different vision than you, because you have people that will applaud mediocre accomplishments and consider it great because they're biased to that person. What I spoke about mostly on that situation is Wilder has a lot of knockouts against a bunch of meatballs, man. There's nobody he knocked out and beat that you really cared about. And like I said, the best fighter on his resume that he beat was Luis Ortiz. When he got in there with one of the elite guys who hadn't been in the ring in 3 years, got a draw and then got destroyed in the rematch. So coming back, even to beat a Trevor Bryant means nothing. It's just that if he did that, now it's like, okay, now when I fight whoever, Daniel Dubois, when I fight a Joe Joyce, when I fight a Usyk, it's for a title. But I don't care to see him versus Trevor Bryant. But he has to, and it's to say I'm going to show my greatness. Greatness is not coming back and then beating up a meatball, and then because maybe you knocked the meatball out, do him like you did Berman Stavern in the rematch, do like you did a Dominic Brazil. That's beating someone that you should beat. You understand? And this goes for any fighter. Any fighter. In his terms, and for him to say, he's going to show his greatness. If you look at it, okay, he hasn't shown greatness like that. If people can say you're great because you knocked out, all these guys, look, you have several undefeated fighters who didn't get the nod for being good or great for being undefeated because the people they fought were considered nobodies. Okay, Deontay Wilder's situation is no different. So if you haven't checked that video out, go check it out. Basically, what we need to understand about, that word great, it's used falsely a lot of times. Okay, everybody's not great. You may have some, you can look at it as an accomplishments, but it's on a certain level. It's as simple as that. And until you can beat, like Tyson Fury said, even if AJ beats him, for him to be the best, he has to beat Deontay. Why? Because Deontay Wilder held the title, so did Joseph Parker. But if that's the case and he feels that way, fine. Well, what did that say about Deontay Wilder? Because he's never beaten AJ, he's never beaten Fury. So like, it's one of those things where people say things out of favoritism or just to try to make a point or to try to take credit away from a fighter or just talking smack because they're going to fight this fighter and they're trying to make them look, like they're not as big as they are, whatever it may be. Anyway, go check that video out. The video about Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez. Okay, I like the video press conference because, look, Billy Joe Saunders is known for being very arrogant, talk a lot of smack, and he doesn't have any big names on his resume. Okay, he has a couple of decent names, but fighting Canelo is going to be his first, big fight, big elite fight. And despite whether you think he's going to win or lose, the fight needs to happen. Okay, I looked at it and I said, you know what, this is cool because I get tired of hearing guys running their mouths and then go in the ring and can't back up what they say. It doesn't bother me at all. It really doesn't. I said I just like, it's one of those things you hear and it's like, whatever, man. I don't even care about all that. You're saying all of this, you need to deliver. Go in the ring and get it done. Don't go in the ring and do good. Don't go in the ring and almost win. Go in there and win. So all of this talking, I don't like bullies for one. So when I hear guys talking a lot of smack, it's just a turn off to me. Like, man, you doing all this talking, you better win. So they go in there and then they can't deliver. He was real calm, poised, laid back. Not the type, not what you used to seeing from Billy Joe. Maybe he's starting to mature and grow up. Who knows? I don't know. But he was just cool and calm, and he was just right to the point about what he had to say. Canelo Alvarez, same thing, same Canelo, just, nothing, no tough talk, just right to the point. I think that Canelo is more, he's been doing this. They've both been doing it, but he's been doing it on this level for a long time. So, he knows he has to get it done in the ring. Billy Joe seems like he knows he has to get it done in the ring. He knows he has to get it done in the ring, bottom line. And that's what it's about. It's not about all of this name calling and, trying to downplay your opponent and act like, your opponent's not worthy. It just makes you look really stupid because at the end of the day, if the guy's not that good, then why are you fighting him, right? Or why is this guy the cash cow and you're not, or whatever it may be. However you want to say it, everybody can take their shots. But, I like that, I like that. I don't like all the trash talking. I'm not like everybody else. Most people have this. They get all excited and start jumping around. And then, 95% of the people are telling you how the fight was trash. It was a garbage fight. Oh, it didn't live up to the hype. And it's like, but you guys keep setting yourself up for the same failure. Because every time a guy starts mouthing off, you guys start jumping up, rubbing your hands together just to sit down and say another fight that didn't live up to the hype. So, that's what I liked about it. They were just right to the point. And for Billy Joe especially, like I get a sense he doesn't trust Eddie Hearn, and that I don't think he really feels like Eddie Hearn really feels like he can win, or that Eddie Hearn really wants him to win, because working with Canelo's the cash cow, man. He has AJ, he has Canelo, and then, for Canelo to lose, Billy Joe is not going to become the next Canelo. It would just be a fight that he won. I don't see him being able to get the type of attention that Canelo did. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, like, see, Canelo was money. Billy Joe Saunders still has more work to do to even get to the point where people consider him one of the best fighters. I think he's a very good fighter. I think he's underrated. But I just feel like you get that sense. Even one of the questions, I forget what he asked him something about something Eddie Hearn asked him, and he said, "Well, I don't hear anybody say that except for you." And like he really, I get that sense like he doesn't trust Eddie Hearn, and I don't think Eddie Hearn really wants Billy Joe to win so much. I could be wrong, but I'm saying I think because he look working with Canelo. And Canelo even saying now that Eddie Hearn's not De La Hoya. Oscar's not the best promoter in boxing. It's Eddie Hearn. So, those type of compliments go a long way. There's reasons for that. You know, um, he has a concern about, fairness. Like, if it goes the distance and say he actually really wins the fight, but they're not going to give him a decision. And, look, he got two fists, you know. If he can land shots and knock him out or knock him down several times, he's going to have to do, as far as I'm concerned, and it's sad that boxing is like that, because it's really not right. But I think if there's no knockdowns and they stay on their feet and it's a good fight, I think they automatically going to give it to Canelo. Canelo can fight, man, but I'm not going to act like I don't see the favoritism, because it's definitely there. But I just feel like Billy Joe got, like, for him, the best thing for him to do is not to go in there with a burden on his shoulders. Go in there and feel like I have to, do this and do that. And I got to win. Bottom line, I have to win. Go in there and adjust to what's going on in that ring and do the best job he can do to try to win this fight. I think if he goes in there with all these concerns to the point where it's bothering him, like, man, I know if I don't knock this guy out, they're not going to give it to me, it's going to mess with his focus. Because Canelo was no slouch, and neither is Billy Joe Saunders, but pretty much the favoritism is tipped towards Canelo. Let's just be real about that. Hopefully, regardless to what happens, that the fight is called right down the middle and there's no favoritism. Hopefully. Well, for either one of those fighters' sake, and just for the sake of doing the right thing. So we'll see. Okay, the last video, I was, told about Errol Spence and asked the question, basically this was the comment was made, was like, I'm surprised you didn't talk about what happened with Errol Spence yet. And basically, I speak about it, let me just elaborate on this a little bit more than what I did, just a little bit. There's a picture of Errol Spence, supposedly, like he's trying to kiss a man on the neck, which is supposed to be some rapper. Don't know his name, and I really don't care. Okay, let me just say this, because everything I said, y'all go check the video out. Y'all can see what I talked about. But let me just add this to that. You guys are calling this man gay. Like, people calling this man gay, saying, he's homosexual because don't no real man do this and this and this. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't care personally what they're saying. And they're saying that, people not keeping the same energy with PBC fighters as they would with non-PBC fighters. Okay. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are just saying and doing things just to get views and likes. Okay. Look, people, there's pictures of Errol Spence sitting there with his wife, fiance, baby's mother, whatever they are, sitting there showing their diamonds and all this, whatever. Nobody's talking about those videos. But anything to actually put a damper on someone, it's like, let's talk about that. Let's make this, right? I'm not sitting here worrying about the next person's sexuality. I don't do videos about that. This is a boxing news channel. Two, I made a comparison with Deontay Wilder, okay? And let me say this, because even for people that defends Deontay but is saying things about Errol Spence, let's just be perfectly clear, okay? That picture, no, I don't go around putting my mouth on men. I don't let men put their mouth on me, for damn sure. That's not going down. That's not how I live, okay? That's just me. But at the same time, let me say this. I've seen worse where a lot of people say one thing about somebody else but not the other. I don't care about the rumors and all of this. Let's just try to kick dirt on someone. Okay, let me also say, okay, we heard Deontay Wilder say he wanted to experience having a baby. The man was wearing a nose ring. The man's talking about, he playing my emotions and really emotional. Okay, solid men don't carry themselves like that as far as I'm concerned. You have different types of people. You have different, characteristics in people. And all that emotional, sensitive feelings hurt. Remember when he was talking about how they hurt me so bad? Talking about Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua. He's playing my emotions, and it's like what? Okay, all that type of sensitive stuff, and talk about he wanted to experience having a baby, wearing nose rings, twerking, shaking his ass. You can't say nothing about Errol Spence if you defended that. And my thing is, like I say, if it's something that's not of your interest, all you simply have to do is not watch it. But for you to now watch it and then tell other people to watch it just so y'all can go and do live streams on it and make money, hoping people blow your Patreons up and act so emotionally invested into what these people are doing. Like I said, one of the main things I hear coming out of people's mouths is, I don't care about the man's sexuality, whatever. If he's gay, hey, that's fine. I'm just saying he needs to come out and tell us. And I'm like, what? I mean, why would you care? Tell you what? What is it for him to say? I mean, you got people that feel like they want to know a whole lot of things. I mean, you got couples that's swingers, right? And then you hear rumors and everybody go public with it. If it comes out their mouth, you can't look, when you post a picture or a video of something, people they're going to say things. Okay? They have more to say when they have less detail. Okay? Let me repeat that. People have more to say when they have less detail. Because people love using their imagination to fill in the blanks and make more out of a situation than what it is. So, my thing is, all these people that decide to make videos about it, it's like, okay, I saw the picture, and like I stated, I thought it was Errol Spence, like in his little son or something then. But when I realized it wasn't, that was another grown man, I really didn't think much of the picture. I just went about my business. Not because it's Errol Spence. I don't care who it was. It's the point is, I'm just not into that. I'm not into that. So go check those videos out. I just wanted to do a little quick recap about what I talked about in those videos. And, my thing is, we got far too many people coming in boxing, pouring their little emotions, and see, what they always try to say is, I'm so passionate about boxing. I'm tired of people coming in messing up my sport. And no, stop it. Stop it. Because bottom line, you guys are just trying to find something to talk about. And we got far too many people coming here getting so emotional. Why would you get so emotionally invested into what other grown-ass men and women are doing? Why do you care? I remember having, I knew somebody who used to stand, literally had a pair of binoculars, would stand in his house looking into his neighbor's window, complaining about what he's seeing. I'm like, first of all, you're spying on that person's privacy. They got their window open. Okay, you have to look because the window's open, and you're sitting up here worrying about what they're doing and talking about what they're doing, but they're in the privacy of their home. You're the one watching them. And this is what we have in boxing. These so-called these YouTube channels, they're coming out here just talking about just anything. And at the end of the day, they act like they're so emotionally about it. And it's like, why do you care, man? Why are you so into this? I don't care. Listen, you don't know what your neighbors are. You might have people in your family that live a double life and you don't know it. My whole thing is, why are we even coming on boxing news channels to talk about people's sexuality? And then the fact that they're fighters, all of a sudden, like they owe it to you to come out and say what they are. Because none of your goddamn business what these people are. Focus on the boxing news, man. If it's not boxing news, why are you sitting up here worrying about what somebody else dare to say? If it was two lesbians, you'd be ready to jump into bed with them. Like, let's be real. So stop sitting here and listen. This is not a defense for gay people. This is not a defense for any fighter. What I'm saying is plain and simple. The only reason that people are even talking about this is just to have something to talk about, because they know when people see those topics, they're gonna jump up and, oh, for real, Errol Spence gay? Stop putting, and they're gonna want to dig in, because you have so many dramatic people, and if that's your fan base and this is what you guys are happy with, you do your thing. But when you sit here and say that I'm not gay, I don't hate on gay people though. I'm just saying, if the man is gay, he just need to come out and tell us. Do you know how soft that sounds? Do you know how petty and how childish that sounds? What did he need to come out and tell you for? Come out us. Who is us? Not Aries. I simply don't care. I feel like there's things that you can do that's inappropriate, especially publicly, when you got little kids that might be watching and stuff like that and all that, and you just never know what's going to pop up on your screen. And I get that, but I mean, as far as like, are we going to sit here and worry about who's who? There's certain things you can see and you just get a feel or a vibe of, but a lot of times people just reach, and like I said, they're just looking for something to say. And like I said, again, let me repeat this. This is no defense for Errol Spence or gay people or anybody. It's all about principles. Okay? If you're going to say you don't care about something, but then you're going to keep talking about it, not only are you going to keep talking about it, you guys are acting all emotional about it. Like you broken up inside. Like maybe you wish it was you in that picture. Like it's like a bunch of grown ass men trying to call somebody, you're questioning somebody's sexuality, but you guys are all emotional and acting feminine over other men, man. Why do we care that much about what that picture? That's such a big deal that we want to keep talking about this picture. And this guy's this and he's that and he's this. And then people are saying that he was drunk. Oh, he's drinking again. So it's like, well, was there another picture where he looked drunk? Because if you're basing it on that and you're saying, well, he had to be drunk, because if he was sober and he did it, then that means he's gay. If he was drunk, then, well, he need to stop drinking. How do you know that the man was drunk? Pause. Okay, so bottom line, people, is when you're sitting up here talking about the man is drunk, he's this, he's that, now you starting to combine a bunch of stuff that's rumors, because you don't have no proof that he was drunk. You don't know that he wasn't in control of what he was doing. Maybe he was just being silly and stupid. Now, I don't play like that. I wouldn't let nobody play with me like that. I wouldn't do that, what he did, okay, or whatever. But how do you just sit here and determine that the man was drunk? How do you just, like, to say that, then it's like you're going to talk about the past, what he did in the past, and then he's on the same thing now. How do you guys know that? You see what I'm saying? How do you guys know that? So to even put that out there and then start just saying this thing, see, this is what I'm noticing too. A lot of people who have a problem with the LDBC, and I can understand why people don't ride with the LDBC. But what happens is, because the LDBC supports PBC fighters, you don't. Because the LDBC are biased and they have a certain group of fighters that they're going to look out for, you automatically climb up and try to go against those fighters inside, because it's like you feel like if you support these fighters, then you're supporting the LDBC. And what you guys fail to realize is the LDBC is nothing but a bunch of YouTubers, all right, who sit and nut hug particular fighters that they like. And you're doing the same thing, you're just not realizing it. You may be more that, call it down the middle and more up to par with being more realistic about certain fighters just on a regular basis. But when it comes to anything, any fighter that the LDBC get behind, you guys are quick to like go against those fighters. And the thing what you got to understand is they're all doing the same things. You understand? They're all doing the same thing. Certain fighters don't want to fight at certain times. They want to call the shots. They want to be the A side. but you're doing the same things. So even though you guys are saying you love boxing and you don't take sides, that's what you're doing. You guys heard me say if Errol Spence fight Crawford, I'm going with Spence to win. But you also heard me say Spence is the reason that this fight hasn't happened, because he's holding the fight up. And I think it's because he's on some ego, like, I'm bigger than you, Crawford. I call the shots, you don't. You heard me say that. You heard me say that I think Jamal Charlo, I don't agree with that nonsense he's doing. It's garbage. Talk about he hate Demetrius Andrade so much that, he ain't going to make no money off of me. He's broke. He's just trying to get a payday. And I said, well, damn, if you hate him that much, then go beat his ass then, right? But, am I going to sit up here and get pissed and get all emotional and start raising my voice and getting upset because of what two grown-ass men will or won't do? No, that has nothing to do with me. I am interested in boxing. Without boxers, you have no boxing, okay? But I'm not sitting up here as a fan or a fanboy of anyone. So it doesn't make a difference to me. Life goes on with or without it. COVID is one of the biggest things right now plaguing us, okay? And guess what? We got to live, right? So things that we used to do in a certain way, we haven't been able to do it for a year now. It's no need to keep sitting up here repeating the same things over and over. COVID sucks. We want it to go away. That's the real issue. Who the hell decides that they're going to fight or not fight and miss out on millions of dollars is no issue to me at all. So anyway, I just elaborated more on the Errol Spence situation, because out of the 3 videos, that was a situation where it's like rumors and, along with the photo that we saw, the picture might have been nothing, but for some grown-ass men to be that invested into this and make such a huge deal about it, and they're talking like they're saying a mouthful, there's nothing important about what they're talking about. You're saying that this man is gay, then you're saying, I'm not going to say he's gay. Well, what are you saying? What are you saying? And again, to sit here and say you don't have a problem with gay people, then but you're sitting here saying he needs to come out and say it and tell you what. You guys are a bunch of drama queens, man. You guys are so emotional and touchy yourselves and so nosy that you care. That the fact that you even entertain this to the point where you're sitting up here early morning, jumping up, making videos about somebody's sexuality, and then just sitting up here like encouraging people to go look at the picture and judge for yourself. And I'm like, do you really care that much? Do we? Do we? I can tell you this. I've seen many pictures of Errol Spence, not looking for him, not looking for them, but they surface up on the net with him and his and don't get me wrong, you got people that go both ways or whatever, but so people could say, yeah, but that don't mean nothing, because you're right, he could be, I don't know, I don't care. My thing is, I've never questioned or thought about anybody else's sexuality, right? There's certain things you can just see in people that other people can't see, but nobody speaks about those pictures. This is what I'm saying. You see this man hugged up with the female, you don't say nothing. You see them sitting there chilling, showing off their little jewelry, whatever, you don't say anything. But you see this particular picture, and then all of a sudden, he's a homosexual, he's gay. Oh, he was drunk, and that type of stuff right there is like, you guys don't have any proof of that. And then even though he's his eyes halfway back. Look, there's like a couple of pictures of me where I remember people, it was like, you don't smoke weed, right? I'm like, and I give them that look. No, I'm just saying, like, why? Why would you? Nah, like, your eyes sometimes, like, kind of, that's just, what, I don't know. Okay? So if I'm looking like this on the picture or something, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he's high. No, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I'm a gym wolf, okay? I'm huge on health and fitness, boxing, all that, MMA, all of that, Muay Thai, all that stuff, okay? I'm huge on that to this very day. Always will be, okay? As long as I got my marbles together. Unless I wind up going crazy in the mind, lived to be an old man or something. And hey, well, other than that, never. I've had people actually say that they think I smoke. In fact, I remember there was a time when one of my homeboys, we was chilling, we was roommates at one time. Not really, he just ain't had nowhere to go, and I looked out for him. But anyway, so we both like I like to use the black light. It's just like I just like that effect when you have all the lights off and got the black light on. And then we had the posters, the glow in the dark posters, right? So one of them was a poster of cannabis, not the rapper, cannabis, marijuana. He bought that, not me. And I used to take my incense, right? If I had a candle that melted down to the bottom, well, I would take the stem of the incense and stick it in the candle wax, right? Because you couldn't use it anymore. The stem was burnt down. So people saw that, and then they saw the ashes inside of the candle jar, put two and two together, and they're like, I thought he didn't smoke weed, but look, I see ash. That's weed right there. No, it's not. No, it's not. Now, imagine them running their mouths to other people, saying that, which is what they did, but that got shut down really quick, and then they apologized and all right. But excuse me, putting two and two together, looking for something from the outside looking in without information, you thought that those were ashes from weed. Looked at the cannabis and the poster. Oh, see, I think all this time I never seen him smoke, but I heard. Oh, but look. So people repeat what they hear. Listen, people. We need to stop being nosy and focusing on people's personal lives. I really don't like drama at all. I don't get caught up into people, with this nonsense about wanting to report, stories about people's lives, and then call it boxing news. If I'm talking about a man and a woman arguing somewhere, that's not boxing news. That is a boxer that I'm giving news on, and I do not do that. That's not what I do. So for all of you that's sitting up here making a big deal about this picture, and to the point where you're just making more out of it than what it actually is, I don't know and don't really care on a personal note. I really don't. But for the person that had said, I'm surprised you didn't, why would you be surprised? And the person actually, because I spoke to the person and they said, nah, you're right, I shouldn't be surprised. That ain't never been your style. Yeah, all right then. And I made a video about it because it's like I explained why. But just wanted to get into that and just kind of recap the 3 videos that I put out. So if y'all haven't saw the videos, go watch the videos and listen. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth will bring hate out of people. That's not just a goddamn slogan or catchphrase. That is truth. Okay? That is truth. Never fall in love with lies. Lies get you nowhere. The truth does bring hate out of people. I don't say that because it just sounds catchy. And that's the truth. The hate that people show, just for you telling the truth. This is why when you make a video and you're speaking nothing but facts and common sense, somebody will hit thumbs down. You know why? 1, you got a bunch of trolls. 2, you got a bunch of idiots. And 3, the people that hit the thumbs down feel guilty, like you're talking about them. So if you hit the thumbs down on the video, I don't know about these other guys, but yeah, I'm talking to you. Whatever I say that make you feel salty, then it pertains to you, whoever you are. Aries simply don't care, because I'm going to speak the truth, and I'm not going to sugarcoat what I say, because I want everybody to love my video and to love me and give me all thumbs up. If you feel like, nah, I don't agree with that, because who cares, man? Who cares? I hear things I don't agree with all the time. I see things I don't agree with all the time. I don't care to speak on it because it's not necessary. But when you decide that you want to be combative verbally because, but what about this and what about that? You guys speak off your emotion towards another grown man. You guys speak off your like you guys are calling somebody. I remember somebody made a comment about King Wilder coming back. Yeah, baby, the king is on his way. And I'm like, wow. That is sad. you probably sit up there in the bed fantasizing about this man instead of the woman you laying next to. Imagine if your woman started calling this man the king. Would y'all both bow to him? Huh? Huh? Would you? What if, imagine these same people. Look, I was about to end this video, but listen to this. Let me let y'all think about something, okay? We get in and out the bed the same way. We feel pain. We feel sleepy. We sweat. We bathe. Okay? We all do the same things. We're human beings. We're different by character. Okay? Do you guys understand? For you to call somebody a king and then got the nerve to call other people fanboys, just from that alone, nobody takes you serious. You call people, or people have these little acronyms to their names or these little nicknames, and you guys just love, like there's a wrestler named Kevin Nash. I refuse to call another man big sexy. It's not coming out my mouth, man. He's just Kevin Nash. There's a rapper, they call him Rakim Allah. I don't call no other man no goddamn God. So it's like, no, Rakim. There's a rapper from back in the day named Big Daddy Kane. Really, I just call him Kane. It's just certain things just not in you to do and say, right? But even if I do call you by your rap name, your stage name or whatever, depends on what it is. Certain things I'm just like, hell no, I ain't calling nobody that. But at the same time, do you understand this right here? When you are a fanboy, when you are a fantasizer, when you lay up and actually give somebody more respect than they actually deserve, you are showing your weakness. And I always say this. Imagine if you sitting up here calling another man a king and arguing about another man who's built better. I mean, I even heard people arguing about who's built better. Deontay Wilder or AJ. And I remember a dude said, yo, but AJ got thighs and legs too. And I'm like, these are not even fleet. And I'm looking like these are men arguing over another man's body. These are not even two females discussing this. These are men. Well, these are males. And I'm sitting there just reading the comments, laughing, shaking my head like, damn. That's sad that you guys even pay that much attention. Like, to the point where you're actually arguing and insulting each other over another man's physique. So think about it. You're idol worshiping these guys. And then imagine if you feel like that. And if you feel like that about these guys, and then you yourself don't even have a physique, no muscular, nothing, arms, chest, legs, abs, glutes, hamstrings, calves, you don't even have your forearms, your neck, nothing is developed on you. And you're sitting here marveling over this guy. There's a big chance that your chick might be laying there thinking the same thing. So even more than, than what you're thinking. So stop sitting up here idol worshiping these people, man. I mean, you do what you want to do. But damn, I mean, you guys are making it like as if like you really look at these people like they are more than human. They're no better than me, no better than you or the next person. Nobody. To be honest with you, you guys need to understand you can be super rich, be the biggest scumbag in the world. How many times do we find out about rich people overdosing on drugs? Committing suicide. The more money you have, the more people spend, the more their egos get inflated. And they don't save because they want to go get that $3.5 million car. 6 months later, another $3.5 million car. 6 months after that, and it's just so on and so on. 2, 3 mansions. You can only live in one house at a time. I mean, what's the purpose for all of that? Trying to impress other people. You know what impresses me? And don't get me wrong, if you know how to be wise and just not go and overspend, you can actually save money and you can do pretty damn good for yourself. The problem is people overspend because they want things, and for people who are not rich, it takes them a while to save. Like, people will get their income tax check and go buy a living room set or use it as a down payment on a new car. They always find a way to take a lump sum of money and get rid of it all at one time. I know a lot of guys driving around in Lexus, BMWs, and all that, still living in their mama's basement. You know, it doesn't matter. People do all this thing for show. It's not just so much because I want nice things. It's because they want to show it off to people, right? I respect when I see a man and a woman who can go out, spend that, you know, they go to work, whatever, make their money, whatever, then they come back and it's like they spend that quality time with each other, and they go through life with a smile on their face. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not sitting here saying because it's not like having, you know, money is not important. Of course, you want to make money and you don't want to live from check to check. You want to be able to eat, pay your bills, and if you need things, you ain't got to worry about where your next meal is coming from and things like that. But what I'm saying is, I respect that about people because you know what? They're showing you what they're made of as a human being without trying to show off. They're doing what it takes to make things right with their families. I can tell you right now, when people got money, like really big money, they get arrogant. They get so arrogant. And pretty much that's what they think make them special. People say don't let money make you, right? But that's what they judge you by. Stop. Look, I'll say that for another time. But listen, you know, all this idol worship and treating these people like they're more than human. You guys need to understand something. The same people that you're sitting there doing this to wouldn't give you the time of day. Okay? They even just have a conversation with you. And most of the time, what you got to understand, see, I've been behind the scenes of a lot of things. I've been a part of a lot of things. I've been on the front line of a lot of things. People are all about their money and all about themselves. They don't care about you. Anytime when somebody have a social media channel, page or whatever, and they don't even the ones that run it, understand, you're sitting there loading their messages with compliments and all, and they're not even seeing it. It's someone else doing it for them. Somebody got 4 million subscribers. Do you really think they're sitting down personally going through all those messages one at a time? Do you think that they have time to do that? Look at our family. We like 1,300 something strong. I can't get to every single message when it's one of those channels with videos where it's like just a whole lot. I got stuff to do. So sometimes it might take me a week to get to, all right, let me sit down and I'll just start one by one answering, you know, as much as what I can. But, you know, these people are no better than us. Don't put yourselves beneath anybody. You're special. If you're not special to anybody but yourself, you're all special. We're all special. I come from a town where we call each other kings and queens. If you got a son, he's your little prince. If you got a daughter, she's your little princess. So when we say, hey, what's up, king? Good morning, king. You know what I'm saying? It's not about king, like, oh, king, let me kiss your feet, king. You're better than me. No, that's a way of saying my brother. You know, my family, another respectable individual. You know, and that is so much better than, yo, what's up, my nigga? Yo, what's up? You know, that's my nigga right there. Yo, he a real nigga. I don't like that at all. I don't like the nonsense. So, bottom line, we're all kings and queens, princess and princes, okay? But not in no idol worshiping way. Anyway, much love, respect, peace to everybody. All that, Constable. How you doing, love? Hope everybody having a good night. That's all I'm going to say in this video. And I will catch y'all on the next one.